So they're in the kingdom of Dwargon discussing like the goings on, what happened with people who used to be loyal. You know, we always gotta have the cat.
We got him in ginger and black.
Spice of life. But he also had the what they call that, domestic relations with the bar owners, because he basically just handed out like his extra brandy and just asked them to give him back reviews.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, because Rimuru knows the kind of, like, he's able to make. Well, I don't think he doesn't make the alcohol. One of the artisans does.
Actually, I can explain that. And spoilers for anybody who might not have read that, or whether or not it has been mentioned in the anime. But due to the fact that he is able to recall his past life's memories, basically based on the tastes, he's able to sort of like gauge and adjust the taste. So like he'll give the example to one of the cooks, like Shuma, and then their job is to craft it. That's also how they come up with some of the human food dishes that they do. And spoilers for those that have, but that produce results. Skill that I was telling you about for Shio, that actually becomes a huge thing in the future. For instance, they end up creating rice dishes. However, a lot of people prefer the black mana infused rice. However, he feels that it tastes weird, so he actually has her use produce results on their thing to make his own personal storage of white rice. Because they haven't figured out how to grow it yet.
No, rice fields and all that. And Rimuru only.
Right. I mean, basically everything is trial and error. There's a lot of things that goes on. But as far as I know, this guy sort of set himself up to try and make McDonald's.
That's going to be impressive.
Once again, this season has so much coming to it. So,
here's to look into the future. But this alcohol, the alcohol that Rimuru makes, is premium stuff. Everybody loves it. Everybody is. Like, even the king is impressed by it.
For those of you who watch Dr. Stone and our other reviews,
like and subscribe. For more content like Dr. Stone.
Indeed. But in Dr. Stone, they make wine out of grapes in like the very first episode, I believe. Now, he states that it's worse than anything that was on the market, in our day, because techniques have been practiced and our products are refined and refined and refined. That stated, essentially the rest of the world is unrefined, and Rimuru is just like, oh, I know exactly how to make this better, and capitalizing off of it.
Yeah, but he's not like a capitalist, he's just...
Well, no. Rimuru is actually one of the greatest capitalists. For instance, in this episode, you see that he talks about his relations with Eurozania. He didn't go out of his way to try and create diplomatic relations with Eurozania. Something ended up happening. The leader showed up, and he, went and talked to them.
He literally went, "Hey, guy, you want to have an alliance, guy?" I was like, "Sure. I appreciate you for not killing my guy. Right before I killed my guy." He didn't really kill him, but animated that.
Oh, come on! The faceplant was awesome.
That shit was great.
But he's also about diplomatic relations. So this whole thing with Eurozania, by increasing the amount of imports and exports that he has, he increases his value. Every time that he introduces a new country, it increases the value of his country. Because the more countries that do business to him, the bigger of a hub he becomes. So by the time that the festival hits,
He's
insane. And
He's essentially, you want to trade anything or anywhere, come to Tempest.
right. One, they sit in the middle of everything. Two, they've built secure roads. So because of this and the fact that they guard them, traveling through the area, you are escorted by the people of Tempest.
Yeah.
On top of that, you get the scenic route.
I mean, all of it is the scenic route.
Well, right. Basically, they.
Sorry. She-O getting drunk. Let me tell you, this show doesn't really have fan service, but when it has fan service in the form of drunken Oni just laying all over the place. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's good. Shion is ridiculous.
This is the same grown-ass lady. No, sorry.
Though, in her defense, once again, spoilers, when Rimuru finally figures out how to get rid of the whole toxicity thing, he starts to enjoy drinking too. So much so, there's a society that he creates with some other people called the Three Drunk Sages.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Yes.
Got a question. Have we met any of the other three sages?
Yes.
Now, there's going to be a poll on our Twitter. Who do you think the other two members of the three great drunk sages are?
Okay, see, that's not quite fair yet. Like, we're talking about something potentially like end of season 2.
No, yeah, I know, but these are predictions.
But that's the thing. For anybody who's only ever watched the anime, they will never know.
That's why it's prediction. Link in the description below.
Alright. So.
Oh, the great speech of Rimuru.
You mean the one where Gazelle tells Rimuru he's basic?
As fuck. No, that's just basic. He says he's too soft. He says that as a leader and a king, especially in a country that is not his, he's too soft. He's using I hopes and I wishes in his speech to try and motivate the people. And the king's like, no, you have to give them, you kind of have to show them that you're the boss so that they don't look down on you, especially because you're in their kingdom. So you gotta like flex on them hoes. And Rimuru was like, damn, I wasn't any good at public speaking as in my past life either. And then, like, immediately later, like, later on, when it comes up, he's like, yes, the king was right. I am too soft.
And he still tries to bargain. In that situation, he still tries to bargain. Even though he's the leader. Like, I understand accepting responsibility, but at the same time, you are a grown man able to make your own choices.
He is not.
Oh, he was a grown man?
He is now a grown slime.
He's a very grown slime. Drinking alcohol, the finest. Can we just talk about the ridiculousness of Shion holding him up during the speech?
mean, it was all part of like, you know, oh, it's when I'm gonna be some of
in somebody else's kingdom.
What
I mean, what I mean is, like, essentially, she raised Rimuru above the king of the country's head. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, in terms of the, like, I understand that Gazelle probably didn't see it as disrespect, but in terms of like a country, I mean, think about the whole Trump incident when.
Hey.
No. I'm not getting into politics.
I just have one question.
I was just going to say, like, it was a huge deal when Trump walked in front of the Queen. Like, something as small as that can be a huge offense, especially to a place that has a monarchy.
Fair. But technically, Rimuru and the king are at the same level, while the Queen and Trump are at different levels. Because the Queen is the fucking Queen. Trump is president. Technically, he's a leader, but the Queen isn't a leader.
Right. She's
a symbolic symbol. Like, she's a symbol. The whole British royal family is a symbol. They don't rule the country.
Right,
so
right.
That elevates them above actual lawmaker. And Trump's a lawmaker. So Rimuru steals a bunch of his friends, a bunch of the goblins, and they all go off to the hostess bar.
And the young goblins at that. Gobta was not prepared. Gobta was not prepared in the slightest.
There's going to be another poll on our Twitter page. It's going to be who has better nosebleeds. Gobta, Master Roshi, and you can feel free to put your own, leave a comment and tell us who you think has the best nosebleeds. But, Gobta near dies. I can believe why Gobta
They made that man look anemic. They had him looking like Sanji on Fishman Island.
Oh, Sanji's on that list. Sanji's going to be on that poll, too. Sanji is. What sort of hospitality do you mean? There! Stage 1 of Gobta's death.
Oh, man, he's rocking it. He's rocking it so hard.
But, like, he bleeds out of his eyes, out of his nose. Gobta nose bleeds so hard, it comes out his ears.
Does it really come out of his ears?
It comes out of his fucking ears.
I remember the eyes, I remember the nose. I did not see the ears.
He's doing the trick, right? He's showing off. And he's balancing on the stair. Right. He's balancing on the stool or whatever. That one girl's just like, here you go, and puts a champagne glass or margarita. Those James Bond's drinks.
You mean the gin? Martini glass.
There you go. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, martini glass right on his ankle, and he's like, it's not that big a deal. And then she's like, oh, okay, here you go. And he's like, hey. And then she leans over to talk to him.
That's kind of dangerous, though.
And he explodes.
There's a very valuable glass. You better not let it fall. And everybody else is laughing like it's some sort of joke. Oh, you're so mean. And then she leans in.
And she's like,
and that poor guy.
I'll make you pay for it with your body. She is letting all of the TVs hanging out. It's like, and boom!
No, I don't see anything from his ear. Oh, shit! It is the ears. He had a 5-star blood explosion.
Gobta died. Rested. This is the second time Gobta has died in this series. Second time, by the way.
I mean, the first time was Shion's cooking. Definitely Shion's cooking.
Which will come up later in the episode when Shion and the princess catch Rimuru and the others leaving the bar all drunk as shit. And they're all like, hey, did you guys invite Rimuru out here? Huh? And the whole time, like, they're just flexing, hardcore. All of the guys, all of them, drunk as shit, are on their knees going, please don't kill us.
Right. Like, here's the thing. They all came in there hot, already knowing what had happened. Like, that woman's intuition, the lady that already knows, the one who is asking you the question because she knows the answer and wants to know that you're going to be truthful, was Shion and Shura. Like, even after all of it was over, he's like, how did you even know that we were here? Gabzo told us.
Otherwise known in Dave, if you watch the abridged series, which you should, because it's good, but always support the official release.
Gabzo.
But, like, so, like, as punishment, right? The princess is like, hey, Shion, do you want to cook for our Lord Rimuru for the next week? And he was like, please, no. Can I do it for 3 days? And she's like, nah, a week is the best. And Shion is by far the happiest lady about it.
Like, even though she knows that it's a punishment, she's just like, I get to cook for my dear Lord Rimuru. And, like, the smile.
Like, that moment when you see a woman smile and you know
you fucked up.
You know that anything that comes out of your mouth you now have to roll a 20 on your persuasion, otherwise that bitch is going to eat you alive.
All right, for all my brothers out there, it is that smile that basically says, this is your Miranda rights.
Plead the fifth at that point. Shion comes out of the alley like death on a stick.
And, like, everybody thought that they were going to get away with it. Like,
they had it until, Dave.
Yeah. Like,
until Dave, just threw them all under the bus. Look at them. The dwarves are just like, oh.
And the other people thought that they could get away. And it was all cool. They made it about, halfway down the alleyway. And the shooters are just sitting there like, oh, where are you going? Don't stay. The water's fine.
Just, everybody's freaking out except for Dave, right? Dave's like, what's going on, guys? Why is everybody so scared? Right? And you know how Rimuru gets out of this? You know how he gets out of the beating? He goes, I'm going to be cute and rely on my predator skill. And it works. Sort of. Like, the girls forgive him, but he has to live on Shion's cookie for a week.
And we'll call it even.
Do your best, Shion. And literally everybody else is just like,
too short, too humble.
too dependent on people's sympathy. Right there.
King
right
Gazelle,
there.
You were absolutely right.
This is where Rimuru was like, maybe I am too soft on people.
But I think one of the best dynamics, especially in this show, is the fact that Rimuru accepts punishment against himself. There, spoilers, is a political setup later on that he sets up specifically so that when these rules are in place, they would govern even him.
And I mean,
so he's truly about the equality and the
he doesn't see himself as a leader.
Lawful, and for the most part, the lawful good.
He's more like lawful neutral.
Yeah, that's fair. No, he's not. He's just straight neutral.
Well, I mean, he follows his own laws. Ginger Cat. Oh, this maid.
And we call this one Snooky.
And the other one is called Wookie. And together, they're Snooky Wookie.
He has it all wrong. It's Snooky Wookums.
Yeah. Wookums.
So, now, I like where the episode ended off. So, we have Yom fighting Yulan.
The mage we see at the end of episode 2, working for the Demon Lord, you see she is now fighting the leader of the people that killed the flying Demon Lord thingy. Alright?
Right.
Now, she's doing this to get close to Rimuru, but, like, she proves that this band of individuals need a mage, and she's quite the mage. And they agree to work, and that's the end of the episode.
So, like, all around, like, where do you think that this is headed? Like, I understand that I've spoiled some stuff, but, like, the next episode is the Kingdom of Falmouth. So, I mean,
let me tell you.
What are some things that you want to see?
Well, based on some of the imagery you see in episode 3, when they talk about this king, he just looks like a guy you want Rimuru or somebody to put in his place. Because he just, like, if you look at, like, anime terrible kings, he's essentially that guy. Like, you look up terrible kings in anime, people who are bad for their country or selfish and evil. They're not quite evil, but they're just like, lawful and chaos, like, lawful evil? Sure, we'll go with that. Like, lawful evil.
So, hashtag meet one. And for all of those who don't know, well,
you will in the future. And just so you know,
the meat wad was worth it.
It was. So, like, more spoilers. But,
No, don't tell them what happens. Because I love letting people find out that. But, like, yeah, sure, I told you. But I also showed you. So now you know what to look forward to. And now, so when it's about at that area, you'll be looking at the animation going, I wonder how they made that look.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, when they get to the meat wad in the anime, it's rated M for mature.
Oh, come on, it looks friendly. Here, you just give it a hug.
The best hug. Sorry. I dropped my Dragon Balls.
So, dragging those balls. Anyway.
What we have coming down the pipeline is, instead of doing these episodic episodes for Dr. Stone, we're going to do Dr. Stone in larger chunks, because a lot of Dr. Stone is explaining the science of how to turn, like, a tree into a light bulb. So, like, the large overarching plot is like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 2 minutes there. So it comes over, but we'll do like 3 or 4 episodes in a crack.
Yep. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. We will see you in our next video.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're always in tune for our newest videos. Remember to follow us on Twitters of Jokes of the Fandom at Twitter is awesome.twitter.
Really now.
Hey, Twitter has a fandom, so you gotta make jokes. Even if they're terrible.
Wait, Twitter is awesome. But we're the Jokes of the Fandom on the Twitter.
Duh fandom?
Of the Fandom.
Oh, sorry. So, Follow us at Twitter of Dumb Fandom at twitter.com/Twitter.
And remember, kids, plus Ultra.